Hi everybody, my name is Alisha Nicole Jackson. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm a health and wellness girly, and today we're focused on health and wellness. So today is my lower body day. I have 2 lower body days a week, so my current split is 2 lower body days. Both involve strength training and cardio, and 1 upper body day with the strength training and cardio. However, my lower body days on the weekends, I lift heavy and I focus on progressive overload, like my day during the week, just heavier weights, because to be honest, y'all, like during the week I do not want to lift heavy and then go to work. That just don't seem fun. Even though the gym puts me in a good mood, you know, a lot of positive endorphins, after you're done, that just no bueno. So I go and lift heavy on the weekends because I have more time to recover. I can relax, right? I post this on Sunday, but you know, the weekend is just a good time to rest. So after I lift heavy, I could literally go home and chill out, and I'm not at work or worry about studying or anything like that, because currently I'm studying to be a certified personal trainer, and I've been working out for 5 years. Just a background of some of my knowledge. And also I have an awesome trainer who got his certification. He's managed gyms. I believe he did something with the Olympics as well. So I believe what I'm doing works, okay? I know what I'm talking about. Shout out to my trainer, Omar, who gives me amazing workouts. He actually put the stamp of approval on my game guide, which is in my bio. Please purchase it. It's only $10, guys, okay? I went from 115 to 137. Now I'm currently 130. And I did it in only a couple months, like a year, maybe, if that. And that was only because I was playing some of those days, okay? But needless to say, I bulked naturally, right? And I gained in the right places. So my goal is to help you guys do the same thing. And with the help of Omar and his expertise, I've been able to create something awesome. So please purchase that. It's literally only $10. Even if you just want to support me, if you're like, this girl is cool, I like to hear her talk, you know, throw the 10 my way. And my birthday just passed, y'all. So, you know, support me. My Cash App is in the bio as well. Also, I have a hair guide, and I got some good stuff coming to my website as I continue to grow my channel, you guys, which is so exciting. I'm so glad that you guys are here. I'm so thankful for your support. If there's anything that you want me to sell, please. A lot of people ask about those bands that I have on. Those are blood flow restriction bands. So I definitely have a lot of stuff in the works, y'all. I just be busy, okay? Adulting is so interesting because it's like work-life balance, but for real, like, where's the balance? So I was literally just talking to my dad. I'm like, Dad, like, he don't drink coffee. I'm like, how do you get this energy? So do you guys have any suggestions? I take my vitamins and things of that nature, but any non-coffee drinkers who have any suggestions for things that give them energy, because adulting will have you very busy. Anyways, let's get back into the video. If you haven't noticed, I've been stretching. So I like to stretch minimum 20 seconds on each stretch. I don't know why that sounds so country stretch. Minimum 20 seconds on each stretch. I like to stretch for like 7 minutes minimum. I feel like just make sure that you're doing good stretches for mobility and stability. Those are the things that matter the most, okay? So we're about to get right into it, all right? So first we have goblet squats. I elevated my heels, guys, because goblet squats are very easy. I've been doing them forever. So I'm like, I need a little challenge. My trainer didn't tell me to elevate my heels, but that does give you like a bit of a challenge as far as your goblet squats. So if you're like, this is too easy, always, you know, you can always switch up squats by adding plates, right? By, you know, putting your heels on those plates. For this whole exercise, I believe, and I just want to make sure, but I believe for this whole exercise, everything was 3 sets of 10. Haha, I was correct. Everything was 3 sets of 10. So make sure you guys are doing 3 sets of 10 on these. The weight in the middle is either 45 or 50 pounds. It was heavy lifting day, so I like to go heavy with, you know, the weight. And just make sure that I'm taking my time. Honestly, guys, I follow this bodybuilder. This man is strong. I mean, every part of his body is strong. His neck, his arms, everything. He's huge. And I've been following his TikTok. I need to tag this man because this is my second time talking about him. But basically, he gives tips on a pre-workout, and I took his pre-workout suggestion, y'all, and that's why I'm going so fast, because I was hype, honey. I was in there so happy. So I took creatine before my workout, and then the pre-workout that he suggests is baking soda. So, yeah, y'all, I was in there hyper. Okay. 3 sets of 10 for these. And then he suggests after the workouts to do Gatorade as well. But these are just suggestions. Take them with a grain of salt. Okay. It worked for me though, I will say. Next, okay, we got RDLs. Jump right into it because that pre-workout was working. Okay, these are B-Sense RDLs. The reason that I do my RDLs like this is because I feel them more in my glutes, okay? When I do RDLs the regular way, I don't feel them in my glutes. And I know a lot of people, especially gym girlies, mention muscle-mind connection, and I think that's important, which basically means when you're working out, as you're doing them, being present in those workouts and thinking about, your glutes being worked, right? Those muscles being torn and being rebuilt. Muscle mind connection. However, nothing in my muscle and my mind connect when I do RDLs in the regular variation. So I do B stance RDLs. I was like going through these fast, right? The pre-workout was kicking in. But please take your time on B stance RDLs. The whole difference is between regular and B stance RDLs is basically the formation, right? With regular RDLs, both of my feet would be in the same position, right? Both of my legs been going down. Here you see one is my heel is against the wall, my toe is pointed, right? Both knees are bent, and I'm still doing an RDL motion where you push your butt back, hinge down like you're paying your legs, and then you come back up, right? So I'm still doing the same thing. The stance is just different. So I did 3 sets of 10. For these ones, you do 3 sets of 10 on each leg, right? That's 1 set, right? So I do y'all. I was going to say it's been a long day, but it hasn't even. So on one leg, right, you do 1 set of 10 on your right, then 1 set of 10 on your left, and then you do that 3 times. That gives you what? 3 sets of 10, okay? RDLs are a staple for glute exercises, and I want you to know that, okay? When I first did RDLs, and I've done them consistently in my videos, I did not understand why my trainer would have me do these. Partly because I feel like I didn't feel them that much. I did stiff leg RDLs for most of my videos as well. And I would say I would rate those like a 6 out of 10 compared to these, which would be like an 8. 7.5 more. Nah, 7.8, 8. Okay. But now I understand why he has me do these after I change my variation. And one thing I will say is that sometimes you just need to change the variation of how you are doing the exercise to feel the full effect. Sometimes that's literally what it is. The cool thing about fitness is there are so many variations, so many different ways that you could do the exercise. You don't have to stick with one way if it doesn't work, okay? But I will say RDLs work. And most times you'll hear excuse me, can't even talk. You will hear the fitness girly say, I grew my glutes by doing step-ups, RDLs, Bulgarian split squats, and hip thrusts, okay? Those are like the main go-tos, right? Because they work, I must say. However, there are different ways to grow your legs, right? Those aren't the only things that you have to do. So throughout my videos, you'll see me sprinkle in different things, right? I love my squats, right? Those aren't really talked about as much. Specifically for glutes, because I mean the different ways you squat can target different areas, but I love my squats, right? Those are something that I include all the time, okay, regardless, right? I started out with the goblet squat. So I think the biggest thing when you're coming up with workouts is finding what works for you, but also doing scientifically backed exercises doesn't hurt either, okay? That definitely doesn't hurt. I always say this, right? You have to basically lift for a higher amount of reps, right? To get for muscle hypertrophy. And you have to do progressive overload with that weight, so it has to get heavier. Sorry, y'all, I went into scientific land. But this bar that I'm holding is, I believe, 40 pounds, which might not seem like a lot, honey, but you be the judge of that, okay? Okay, for my upper body days, I actually take it very easy. I don't focus on progressive overload or even lifting heavy, honey. I just want to keep my arms toned, my core toned, my back nice. I'm not currently bulking, right? But the thing people forget is that your waist and having a small waist depends on your back, how your back looks, right? And your core. So for me, upper body day is important for that reason, right? I lost 6 to 7 pounds recently, went from 137 to 130. And I'm excited because now I can finally see my waist, okay? So on top of just losing fat in certain places, but also working your back, right? That does have an effect. And I like having a ab or two. That's always nice. 3 sets of 10 for these, y'all. All right. Let's get into these. This is so funny. I was just complaining about the 40-pound. I was like, woo, okay, I got to put it overhead, right? So he just told me to do some free bar squats. So some more squats, similar to the goblet squat position. Maybe my feet are actually a little further apart, but I wouldn't necessarily label these as sumo squats. Sumo squats are way farther placement. Anyways, don't overthink it with these. Just grab the bar that you have for the RDLs. Again, this is the free bar, right? Grab the bar you have for the RDLs and then put it overhead for your squats. The cool thing about these workouts I've been doing today is that you could do them at home with dumbbells, right? Even the last RDL one, you could grab 2 dumbbells and do them like that, or with this one, you could like press the dumbbells to your shoulders and then squat down that way. But these are simple things that you could do at home or at the gym. I like when my trainer mixes it up and doesn't give me things I specifically need to do at the gym. It makes it like creative and interesting. I always think that's cool. And then when I can knock multiple things out in one area, that's awesome too. As you can see, I've done 3 workouts in the same area. So I was super excited. I'm like, yes, I don't have to move my camera around yet. But yeah, y'all, I love that. I'm like, let me just take this free bar weight and just use it for multiple purposes. So 3 sets of 10. Okay, next we have step ups, honey. I just talked to you all about step ups, right? Because these are one of the holy grails for many women in the gym, many fitness influencers, and they work, okay? I love step ups as far as for the result, but do I like doing them? That's debatable. But, this is about results at the end of the day. So sometimes, right, it may just be like, dang, like, I don't want to do these, but I'm doing them because glutes, right? Because legs, right? Because quads, right? Because hamstrings, right? Because growth, right? Okay? That's why. Oh, man, because strength, right? It's not just about the aesthetic, right? Okay. You want strong legs so you could be able to get up and down on stairs, honey. And just build muscle so you're not weak, right? You're not weak. And even if you're in the phase where you're like, well, Alisha, I don't want to specifically build muscle, I want to lose fat. Okay, sweetie, that's fine. Do that as well. I'm not saying don't do that. I do cardio at the end of each workout for 15 minutes. I may not show it, but I do it. So 3 days a week, I hop on a treadmill for 15 minutes on the highest incline, okay? I jog 1 minute and then rest 1 minute. Not rest, but like walk 1 minute. So that's what I do. Look at me. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Pretty. All that hair. Oh my goodness. And it's so funny. I tried to put it in a bun, y'all. It wouldn't cooperate. Anyways, back to what I was saying about cardio. If you want to lose fat, that's okay, right? Cardio is important. I do cardio every time I work out because your heart is a muscle and it needs to be worked, especially if you come from, I don't know why I was so passionate about that, especially if you come, no, because it's serious, especially if you come from a family that has history of just heart disease or things with the cardiovascular system. You need to be doing cardio like it's like for fun. So that's why I do it. And also it keeps you toned and tight. One great way to stay toned and tight, especially if you are bulking, right? If you're reading my guide and you are That was shameless plug, link in the bio. If you're reading my guide and you're like, you are in a caloric surplus and you're like, okay, I'm trying to keep everything right and tight though. You need to be doing cardio at the end of your workouts. The incline helps with your legs, your strength, keeping everything toned as well. So cardio is super important, and you need that strength training because you don't want to lose that weight and now you're flabby, right? You want everything to be tight. So it all works together. And I think the interesting thing about fitness is most times somebody will start in fitness maybe working on one specific area, like me, okay? Maybe I was like glute and leg obsessed, and then you're like, wait, maybe I should do cardio. Maybe I should do upper body. Look at me, I look so excited. Maybe I should do cardio. Maybe I should do upper body. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that, right? Because your body is all connected. You need everything. I look good. Okay, but focus. You need you need everything, right? You don't just need one particular thing and just to ignore the rest. This all functions together, connects together. So I think that's the cool thing, because I was like against upper body, and now I'm so glad I do upper body because, like I said, you need to work your back, for that waist. And having a tight core is cool, right? I literally having a cute outfit now with my midriff out. So shout out to Upper Body Day and, those core workouts. Again, 3 sets of 10 for these. And all that means is that you do 10 on each leg, okay? 10 on each leg 3 times. To be honest, the gym this day was actually really empty. This is my favorite gym to come to, y'all. I get the best content, best angles, best videos, best thumbnails. But lately, I have been having an issue recording here. So I hope I could come back. And I guess we'll see. But this was a great workout, honey. One thing I could say is, like, I really do be trying to give it my all, okay? It's not just for the camera. I'm not acting. This is a real sweat, okay? This is a real grind, and this is, like, I'm really going after it. I'm really giving my all, okay? Dedication, hard work. Dedication, hard work. And I don't know who I've been listening to lately. I love my early 2000s playlist. If you want, guys, I could send you the link to it. I just recently added Young Jeezy to it, so I love it. Something about early 2000s is so nostalgic and fun and light. And I'm done with these, by the way. Step ups finito. Okay. Now we're doing some hip thrusts, baby. Okay, on the Smith machine. So basically for these, I do my hip thrust on the Smith machine. It just makes life a lot easier. And then what I do is, instead of the pad, okay, the internet taught me this. Shout out to the internet. Okay, now I'm going to teach y'all and pass it along. So basically what I do instead of the pad is I get like what I stretch on in Planet Fitness, the mat, and I use it as a pad to cover my legs and protect my legs, and it helps me lift heavier because I feel nothing. So that's really awesome, and that's the tip I would pass on. As you can see, honey, I'm finna get to it, okay? 3 sets of 10 for these. But back to the music. As far as like the music, look at me waving. As far as so happy. Okay, so as far as the music, I love early 2000s because something about the early 2000s music just feels light. It feels fun. It doesn't feel forced, and everything is so nice and sweet. And even if it is like a bit aggressive, it's still soft, So early 2000s is my go-to. And yeah, y'all, I'll be in the gym vibing. On days like this, I don't listen to music because I'm recording. But on those days during the week, honey, I'm like vibing out to early 2000s. Young Jeezy. Who else is on my playlist? Dipset, Joel Santana, Busta Rhymes. Who else, y'all? Dang, I can't remember now. I can't remember. That's how good it is. It's like, it's just, you feel me? You just gotta catch it in the moment. I don't even remember. But it's really good. I'll drop the playlist if y'all want it, okay? It's fire. It'll definitely make you want to dance in the gym. I love the gyms I go to too, because the people that go there are super duper cool. I always talk about that, and sometimes I get comments and people are like, they agree with me, like they're like, yeah, I love the older people at the gym. I'm like, yeah, they super cool and they mind their business. Okay, for these hip thrusts, y'all, I believe, how much is this? This is like 120 minus the bar. I just started adding hip thrusts to my workout, so I was able to grow my glutes, to be honest, y'all, without having to hip thrust a lot. But these are great for glute growth, and when I'm done doing a hip thrust, I see a difference like right away. The pump is insane. So the girlies are definitely correct, and I believe I'm going to continue to add these to my workout. I'll just sprinkle them throughout the week, right? So I change it up. Okay, so right now what I'm doing is I'm getting my trainer's workout, okay, and then I'm adding my own stuff in there, because I am studying to be certified as a personal trainer, and eventually, y'all, I'll probably just come up with my own workouts, but his are bomb, okay? So I'm like, I basically, use his workouts and then I add mine to him, right? So since I did step ups and hip thrusts this day, during the week, I'll do Bulgarians, okay? But some stuff stays, like RDL stays, squat stays, and then I switch up on different things, okay? So this was the heaviest I went on hip thrust, and I really pushed myself, y'all. That pre-workout hack had me in there like super happy, super excited, super ready, super pumped. Kind of how I sound now. So I did, dang, excuse me. Is that like 140? I think I hip thrusted 140, okay? And I really just started adding these bad boys, but honey, I went hard, okay? All right, let's get into this next workout we're about to do, okay? These are leg curls. My preferred leg curl machine, it's actually one where you lay forward, okay? And then this, like, you see how I'm curling that back? Instead of me sitting down, I'm like laying forward and curling it to my butt, right? While I'm laying on my chest. So that's my preferred one, but they don't have that at every Planet Fitness, so this is a great replacement. I like the leg curl machine because a lot of people forget about their hamstrings. And since I've been doing this pretty consistently. I sprinkle it in and out, but I feel like more consistently my trainer has been having me do it. Since I've been doing it, I see a difference, and I want to continue making sure that I include my hamstrings in my workouts. Not that I wasn't, but I don't think this was a huge part of it. And I feel like leg curls specifically target that. Obviously, other things I do include hamstrings, right? But this one is definitely one where you will feel it right away, okay? So leg curls are awesome. I think I'm gonna, keep these in here, okay? I'm gonna keep these sprinkled in here, and just try to do them at least once a week for one of my leg days. And I've been doing that pretty consistently. So for these 3 sets of 10 as well, okay? And as you can tell by my face, I was overjoyed, excited, right? This is the best workout of them all. Oh man, I like workouts where I could feel them right away. And now that I've been working out so long, it's like some stuff I feel like I just do and my muscles just eat the workout up. And I'm like, did I just do that? I don't feel it, right? But things where like I'm doing leg curls, I always feel them, okay, right away. Bulgarians, they're getting a little easy now. They're getting easy. At first, you feel me? They were tougher, but I've been including them more, like I said, sprinkling in them in there with my trainer's workouts, and I feel like they're getting easier. But Bulgarians, typically, I always feel them. Lunges, I love lunges. I always feel them. What else do I feel right away? those would probably be the main things. Obviously, everything here I feel I wouldn't do it if I felt it, but some stuff just hits harder, right? You know, I might do my hip thrust and then it might not hit till like 3 minutes afterwards. I'm like, oh my goodness. But some stuff just does it right away. And I feel like for me, leg curls is one thing, and it's probably just because of the areas targeting the hamstrings. Jesus, you know the funny thing is this is not pause. I'm just sitting here debating life. Oh my goodness. Like I said, I feel these right away. So I had to take a little breather. I had to take a little break. I was like, okay, we gonna have to recollect our thoughts and, breathe through this and get through this. And it was a beautiful day. It's been a beautiful weekend. I'm such a summer person. I don't know if anybody else here is a summer person, if it's warm where you're at, but it's warming up here and I'm just so excited. So, I don't know, random sidebar because I'm literally thinking like, should I go out today? But it was beautiful. When I recorded this, it's beautiful today. It's definitely important to get outside and get some vitamin D and get off your phone. It really do be that phone, okay? And as somebody who posts and create content, I just actually did something for a brand on my birthday. I'm grateful, but sometimes I'm like, I just need to throw my phone literally in a river and just continue with life, okay? 3 sets of 10. Last but not least, okay, we're gonna get on the hip abductor machine. I love these along with fire hydrants, especially if you have hip dips. I have hip dips. It may not look like it because of how much, I guess, muscle that I have as far as like in my legs and the way that I pose and things of that nature. So I've really like built my legs, I guess, and my glutes in a way where when I pose certain ways, you can't really tell that I have hip dips. But this is a really good machine for hip dips, okay? And you can get rid of them because it's your bone structure, but you can work, work your muscles around them the best to your ability. And like I said, the way I pose, you wouldn't even know that I had hip dips, okay? But that's the thing about online and social media and things of that nature, right? People give their best angles, right? Their best poses, but I just try to make sure that I'm open and honest with you all, especially on my videos. However, honey, I look impeccable on here and, just in general, I've worked very, very hard for my body. So, certain angles it may look better, but honey, it look good regardless. That's what I'm trying to say. There we go. There we go. There we go. But just know that you're not alone in your fitness journey. I've been working out for 5 years, and some days I see my progress. Some days I'm like, girl, what have you been doing? And that just goes to show that I'm human, right? Now, if you've been following me or just go back to my first video, you'll clearly see that I bulked, right? But sometimes it's just hard for me to see. And, it just shows you that I'm human just like everybody else. I have good days, I have bad days, but regardless, we show up for the gym, okay? After this, I did my 15 minutes of cardio on the treadmill. Make sure the incline is as high as it could go. For me, that's the highest, right? I jog 1 minute, walk one. Make sure you're working your heart. And to keep everything toned, if you are bulking, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're doing your cardio as well. Thank you guys for coming to my channel. I'm so blessed and so grateful. Please like, comment, subscribe. Support me, okay? If you want to grow your hair this big and luscious, okay, to the point where you're like, dang, it's a lot, okay? I got my hair guide in the bio. If you want to grow your glutes, right, your muscles, your legs and your butt, more to the point where you're like, dang, it's a lot, okay? I got that in the bio. And then let me know if you guys want anything else as far as me to create or, for purchase on my website. I have some ideas up my sleeve. Trust me, I don't forget what you guys say. I just feel like I'm just the busiest woman ever, which is probably not true, I think it's just adulting, but I am busy. So I try to answer every comment, you know, with grace and with love. And I hope you guys have an amazing week. Get a workout in. Support me, link in the bio if you can. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. See ya.